Finally, we're on the verge of playing baseball. The opening game of a 4-game series, a must-win series for the Twins. If they want to reemerge as a wild card contender, they need to win this series at least 3-1. Byron Buxton will rejoin the ball club, and he'll hit leadoff and play center field.
Yeah, the 11 ball games down there, you see what he's been able to do. He came up with the Twins first on June 14th, and then on the 26th ended up getting put on a disabled list when he slid into second base and sprained that left thumb. He was activated back on August 10th, but then optioned down to AAA, and he's back up. Why? Because Aaron Hicks was put on a disabled list. To some of the young guys, what a great experience. The Twins are only 4 games out of that wild card opportunity, and these young kids hopefully will play a big part in getting the Twins back and hopefully into that wild card race even closer.
Buxton, 21 years of age. Sano, 22 years of age. Rosario, age 23. And Tyler Duffy will take the mound, hoping to pick up his second major league win in the opening game of this series in Baltimore. Imagining what you want things to be like for that team you love. Dream seasons, dream matchups, dream opportunities. For it to happen, you need to see the future. In Minnesota, much of it has arrived, ready to make the Twins a fall force. Like inning and score, balls and strikes, the future happens one day, one moment, one pitch at a time. Can they shape it and seize it, define and dominate it, reach it and realize it? Twins fans can see the future. It looks like right now. And for the first time of very likely, and we hope for many games, it'll be Buxton, Rosario, and Sano in the same Twins lineup. Buxton re-added to the 25-man roster at the expense of Aaron Hicks, who at the ripe old age of 25 has found himself on the disabled list.
Yeah, second time this year that Hicks has been on the disabled list.
Menard's batting order for the Twins, and yes, they have to win 3 games in this series to start reversing what has been a terrible trend. Byron Buxton in the leadoff spot. Brian Dozier hitting second. Joe Mauer. Miguel Sano hitting cleanup. Trevor Plouffe. Eddie Rosario. Torrey Hunter. Kurt Suzuki. And Eduardo Escobar.
And on the mound, it'll be Miguel Gonzalez making his 23rd start. His first against the Twins this year. The last time the Twins saw Gonzalez was here back on August 29th. He ended up defeating Trevor May and the Twins 9-1. He pitched a whale of a ball game. 7 innings. He allowed only 1 run. A home run to Trevor Plouffe, a solo home run. A walk and 6 strikeouts.
Northland 4 defense for the Orioles. In left field, last night's hitting hero, Henry Urrutia. Adam Jones in center, Gerardo Parra in right, Manny Machado, J.J. Hardy, Jonathan Scope, Chris Davis, the infielders, and Matt Wieters behind the plate. Gabe Morales will call balls and strikes. Eric Cooper, Mark Carlson, the crew chief, and Chris Conroy. And Buxton in the box, ready to get things going. Injured his thumb in his first stint with the Twins, went on the disabled list, a rehab assignment, then an assignment to Rochester, and he's ready to resume his big league career. First pitch, a high fastball and a swing and a miss.
About a 2.5-hour rain delay. It's a good thing that they did not start the game at 7:05 because of the rain. Came down about a half hour later.
Wasn't that long ago they would have, and we would have had a rain delay of about 2.5 hours. 2 hours anyway.
Field looks great. Drains well here, as all new ballparks do.
Fouled away, 1-2. If it seems like the Twins play a lot of 4-game series here in Baltimore, it's because they play a lot of 4-game series here in Baltimore. They played one here last year, won 1 game. A few years before that, they split 4 games, and the year before that, they took 3 out of 4 here, and that's what they need to do. Chopped to the third baseman. Machado has it, and across to first. Buxton retired 1 away. Back in 2006 and 2007, the Twins had back-to-back 4-game series here and won, actually just won 4-game series, but they won all 4 in 2007. And that would be the ideal, but the Twins need to simply start winning more ball games.
Well, they want to do against the Orioles what they were able to do earlier this year in Minnesota against the Orioles, sweep a 3-game series.
Something they've done just twice this year. They swept a 4-game series as well. Here's Dozier. And a ball hit to third. Easy play for Machado. Dozier on 1 pitch is retired. 2 down.
Gonzalez, 31 years old, in his 4th season with the Orioles. Went through the Tommy John surgery back in 2008. Took him a while to get back and get to the big leagues. Spent some time on a disabled list this year. Had a right groin strain back in June. But making his 23rd start.
Twins didn't see Gonzalez at Target Field in July. 2 down, Mauer at the plate. And there's strike 1.
Yeah, those 3 games in July were won by the Twins 4-2 in 10 innings, and then 8-3 and 5-3. The winners, May, Gibson, and Malone.
3 starting pitchers, and boy, wouldn't it be nice to see that situation again here with the Twins starting pitching leading the way. Been one of the downfalls. Joe's hit very well against the Orioles and in this ballpark. The ball driven to the left field corner, and that ball is deep and foul by inches.
You know, we saw that in New York too, hitting that ball and just foul down that right field. A lot of times we'll see Joe hit that ball fair, but things just aren't going right for Joe right now.
Chris Conroy didn't really travel a great distance to make that call, and Paul Molitor's up on the field. Twins may challenge this. As funny as it sounds, that ball might have been a home run at Yankee Stadium. 3:18 down the line. Ball claps his hands. Will resume play without a challenge. 1-2 to Mauer. Mauer hit a home run in the series finale at Target Field against the Orioles. Brian Dozier hit a couple of them. Miguel Sano hit his first home run against the Orioles, and Sano is on deck in the dirt.
Yeah, in that series, actually, Mauer followed Dozier's home run, a back-to-back home run. Dozier hit a 2-run home run, and then Mauer hit one. That was in that final game in Minnesota back on July 8th against the Orioles.
2-2. And fouled back. Gonzalez hasn't won in his last 4 starts. The Orioles, though, as they've done in recent years now, they are playing their best baseball in the final 50 games. We talk a lot about that, but the teams that get to the postseason generally do that. It's rare, it seems, that you see a team sneak in through the back door, if you will, and get into the playoffs. It's the teams that play well at the end that get in. It'll pop up to center, and it'll carry out to Jones. A 1-2-3 first inning for Miguel Gonzalez. And Tyler Duffy will start his 3rd major league start when we come back. They have about 2.5 hours to see their Twins play. Buck Showalter has his team in 3rd place, but just 5 games behind the Yankees in the American League East. The Menards batting order for the Orioles. Manny Machado leading things off. Then Gerardo Parra, Adam Jones, Chris Davis, Matt Wieters, Jonathan Scope, Steve Clevenger, J.J. Hardy, and Henry Urrutia.
And Tyler Duffy making his 3rd major league start, looking for his 2nd major league win. He won his last ball game in Minnesota against Cleveland, a 4-1 winner. Walked 5 in that ball game, struck out 7. Only gave up 1 hit in 6 innings through 94 pitches.
We really believe we'll be able to bring you over the next 4 games some of the best young talent in Major League Baseball. Right now, Sano, Buxton, and Rosario would still be listed under the category of prospects. This guy, Manny Machado, is an established star at the age of 23. 1-1.
Yeah, this young man right here is having one heck of a season as a leadoff hitter now. 25 home runs, 62 runs batted in, hitting an even 300. Only 23 years old. This is already his 4th season with the Orioles. Came up in 2012.
He has over 1,600 major league at-bats, and that's with a couple of serious injuries that he's had to deal with. Chopper left side, and Escobar waits. Over to Bauer, 1 away. So Duffy gets a ground ball out. Now he'll face Gerardo Parra. The Northland Ford defense for the Twins. with rookies Rosario and Buxton in the outfield, along with the non-rookie Torrey Hunter. Plouffe, Escobar, Dozier, Mauer, and Suzuki around the infield. When the Twins swept the Orioles, Gerardo Parra was still with the Brewers, but the Orioles got Parra to play in right field, and he's done a very nice job. Very good arm.
Well, he's hitting over 300 with the Brewers, and then on July 31st, the Orioles traded a right-handed pitcher, Zach Davies, to the Brewers to get Parra.
One and 0 to Parra. On the ground again to Escobar. 2 down. Well, the Orioles have some components that they hope will get them back to postseason play. 5 games behind the Yankees. Chris Davis has really picked it up in the middle months of the season. Manny Machado, some instant offense in the leadoff spot. And the Orioles, like any good team, a really good closer, as the Twins hope not to find out. Zach Britton, left-handed closer for the Orioles.
160 home runs the Orioles have hit this year.
Only 3 of them by this guy. Hit one last night to tie the game against the Mets. And Urrutia won it with a home run, a walk-off home run in the 9th. 1-0 from Duffy to Jones. And fouled away. There's Urrutia. He's hitting 9th. And Duffy trying to have a 1-2-3 first inning here. 1-2.
Good movement on that fastball right there.
Would you describe his arm slot as low 3/4?
More 3/4, kind of a, he's got that long arm, but throws that ball pretty good. Big breaking ball, hard breaking ball, like that.
Keeping Escobar busy, and 3 ground ball outs in a quick bottom of the first inning. Two hours and 31 minutes, and after the first inning of play, it's a time-honored tradition in baseball for fans to do this, but the Orioles actually made the announcement that fans can get a better seat. It looked like a Billy Graham crusade.
What if you went up between innings to go get something to drink or eat, and you come back and somebody's sitting in your seat already?
Or your friends have left. Happens to me all the time.
Well, I could understand that.
Here's Sano to lead off the second. And a check swing and a called strike. Sano, Plouffe, and Rosario. Sano hit his first of 9 big league home runs so far against the Orioles at Target Field. Fouled back 0-2. Buxton and Sano played baseball together at Double-A. Briefly, but they did. And now 1-2. Up high, 2-2. Wearing his age on his jersey. And now 3-2.
Yeah, good take right there by Sano. Again, all these youngsters we're talking about, Rosario, Buxton, Sano, they've never faced Gonzalez.
Popped up, back, and out of play. Sano with 57 strikeouts, 27 walks. .39 hits, almost half of them for extra bases. And a walk.
And a good take there on that breaking ball.
It was 0-2, and Sano draws another walk. Plouffe to the plate, but first, Praise FM invites you to Faith Night 2015, a post-game event following the August 29th game between the Twins and the Astros. You can enjoy the game and then stay for post-game live music from Unite Twin Cities and special Twins player appearances. For details and tickets, visit twinsbaseball.com/Faith Night. Plouffe, the batter.
As I mentioned last year, Trevor Plouffe hitting a solo home run off of Gonzalez. 2 for 5 in his young career.
In the outside corner.
As far as Gonzalez. Gonzalez, not a lot of major league starts. 92 right now. Has 39 wins, 29 losses.
And again on the outside corner, 0-2.
Gonzalez, born in Mexico. He ended up moving to Southern California with his family when he was about 3 years old. Grew up in Southern California. Originally signed by the Angels in 2004 as a free agent. And then the Orioles signed him in 2012 to a minor league contract.
Nice job of hitting by Plouffe. A wide open hole on the right side. And on an 0-2 pitch, he breaks his bat perhaps, but gets a single, first and second.
And again,
out.
always a good sign. We saw Trevor Plouffe in New York do this a couple times. Take that pitch the other way. Had a good night on Monday night in New York when he picked up 3 hits and a home run. And his home run went over into the Yankee bullpen to right field. A good solid swing by Plouffe.
And now Rosario, of the rookie trio, the oldest at age 23. Squaring the bunt. He lays a beauty down on the grass.
No chance.
A bunt single filling the bases, and that'll load him up for Torrey Hunter.
Yeah, Machado was playing a little bit off the line on the dirt. So Rosario, my goodness, what a great bunt that was. No chance for the pitcher Gonzalez. And it was Machado. You see where he's playing right there, giving him the line. But this ball perfectly bunted. Machado comes in, barehands it, thought about it, little fake. And the bases loaded, nobody out.
All this talk about the rookies, and for good reason, but if the Twins are going to get back into the race, the veterans are going to have to start hitting better, and that certainly is the case for Torrey Hunter, who's been in a dreadful slump over the last couple of weeks. And this, with the bases loaded, nobody out, would be a great chance for him to start to break out of it.
Torrey 2 for 5 against Gonzalez with a home run.
Strike 1 over the inside corner.
Gonzalez has allowed 22 home runs this year in 127 innings pitched.
Fouled away, 2 strikes. And what we've seen, the strikeout frequencies increased in Torrey's slump.
And a lot of times when you are in what you call a slump for Torrey, you end up with this type of count all the time.
See what he can get done here on 0-2. Plouffe singled on an 0-2 pitch. Head high fastball over the center of the plate, 1-2.
Gonzalez's last start last Saturday against the Oakland A's here. He pitched 7 innings, gave up only 3 runs, a quality start. 1 of 8 he's had in his first 22 starts.
The dirt smothered by Wieters, and it's 2-2.
That's that split finger. That has been his strikeout pitch. 97 strikeouts in 127 innings pitched.
Gonzalez had Sano 0-2 and lost him to a walk, and now he's filled the count to Hunter. Suzuki on deck. Count's full, and the bases are full. Chopper foul. Despite Torrey's slump, 18 home runs, 60 runs batted in. He's 6 behind the team leader, Trevor Plouffe, in that category. Big spot here for the 40-year-old veteran.
Torrey with 349 home runs.
And he took ball 4. And Gonzalez has lost 2 batters here in the second inning. After getting ahead 0-2, he's lost them each to a walk.
They're trying to start nitpicking, and Gonzalez ends in walking on a run, and Torrey Hunter gets credited with his 61st run batted in. Twins take a 1-0 lead. Bases remain loaded.
And remember, Plouffe on an 0-2 pitch got his single to right field. So we could fast forward this at bat, maybe just start Suzuki with an 0-2 count. Getting the first run of the game and a chance for a big inning here in the second. That'll help. Base hit down the line. Plouffe will score. Rosario around third. He'll score. And Suzuki on the first pitch drives in 2 with a single.
Well, he came in and out of bat 2 for 3 against Gonzalez, and he got a breaking ball up and picked up a couple runs batted in, now with 38 on the year. So the Twins taking advantage of some wildness and some pitches left up. Watch the breaking ball right here, right into that swing zone of Suzuki. He lines it in the left field. Plouffe scores, Rosario scores, and Torrey Hunter stops at second base. So a quick 3-0 lead for the Twins.
Pitching coach Dave Wallace to the mound. And now back to the dugout. Still nobody out. First and second. And the number 9 batter, Eduardo Escobar. High and tight with Escobar flashing a bunt. Ball 1. Hunter at second, Suzuki at first. And now 2-0.
Gonzalez's shorter start came here in late July against the Tigers. He worked only 3 1/3 innings, gave up 5 runs. Making his 3rd career start against the Twins. 1 win, 1 loss.
Ahead of hitters 0-2 and lost him. Now he gets behind Escobar. 2-0, 3-0. Buxton on deck. And the fans here who aren't Twins fans have waited 2.5 hours to watch a ball game, and Gonzalez is having a really rough time in the 2nd inning. Escobar will be taking here on 3-0. And he takes a strike.
Has to come in with another fastball. Wieters sitting pretty much down the middle of the plate.
Lifted foul. Now 3-2.
The ball had some sink on it right there. Escobar fouled it off.
So you need to be greedy. You've got 3 on the board. You had some leads in the Yankee series that got away. You need to put a bigger number up on the board here in the 2nd. Full count to Escobar. And a foul ball between Butch Davis and the line.
Escobar is a left-handed hitter, being a switch hitter, hitting .254. 2 of his 4 home runs from this side of the plate. There are the splits.
Fouled back to the screen. Escobar, of course, not the easiest guy to walk. 268 at bats, 15 walks.
Well, he's sitting in that 9 spot in the lineup. So as a pitcher, you have to go right after him. You have to make him swing the bat. He's already walked 2 this inning.
And flared foul over the Twins dugout. Whopping 38 pitches already. And the Orioles starting to get Jason Garcia stretched out down in their bullpen. Another 3-2 pitch coming to the Twins shortstop. A drive to right center field. Great at bat for Escobar as he hits a gapper. Hunter around 3rd will score. Suzuki holding at 3rd. A tremendous at bat by Escobar. 6 straight have reached, 4 have scored so far here in the 2nd.
An RBI double right there for Escobar, his 19th double of the year. Got to pitch up. Again, as a pitcher out there, you cannot walk your 3rd batter. So Gonzalez going right after him with fastballs. And Escobar catching up to this one, finding that gap out in right center. And the runners have to hold a little bit. And you see Suzuki, he's taken off. Torrey Hunter, he scores from second base. And Gene Glenn holding up Suzuki at 3rd. So a 4-0 lead for the Twins.
Orioles bring the infield in for Buxton, looking for his first big league run batted in. Down and away, ball 1. Buxton hit a ground ball to Machado to start the ball game. And blocked by Wieters. 2-0. Major difficulty for Miguel Gonzalez here in the 2nd inning.
You know, the 2.5-hour rain delay at the start of the ball game shouldn't really affect a pitcher, a starting pitcher.
Strike call to Buxton 2-1. It's not like he was warmed up. Nobody did anything until we got a word about a half hour before the eventual start time that we were going to start about 9:35 Eastern. 2-1 to Buxton. Fouled straight back 2-2. Now the Twins want to see improvement from Buxton with 2 strikes. A lot of strikeouts in his first stint with the ball club, and a big spot here with the count now 2-2. Inside 3-2. A base is open. Dozier's on deck. Still nobody out here in the second inning.
33 pitches used so far for Gonzalez this inning. Still looking for his first out.
Full count to Buxton. Ground ball to third. Suzuki has to stay put, and still made it close. He's retired. 1 away.
Well, second time he has grounded to Machado.
And that'll bring up Dozier. Dozier also in a ground ball to Machado. Twins had one of these situations in the second game in New York where they scored 3 but left 2 men in scoring position. And they want to get at least one more here.
Yeah, middle of the infield, playing about halfway. They're not all the way in on the grass. They're not all the way back. Suzuki not the quickest at third base.
Ball 1. One and 0 to Dozier. Wieters got most of it, or Gabe Morales did. At any rate, the ball stayed near home plate. 2-0.
Yeah, Wieters going out, just give him a breather right here. The breaking ball. He might have been crossed up the way that he went about that last second. I think he's maybe looking fastball.
The Orioles
Wieters
have already
reacted nicely.
Yeah, Orioles have already used their trip to the mound from the pitching coach. Wieters allowing Garcia a little extra time to warm up. I suspect that Dozier might be the last guy Gonzalez faces here. 2-0. And a strike call. Walked and scored. 4th run of the inning. Driven to left field. A sharp single that will score Suzuki. Escobar hesitated. Now he's coming home. And he's out. On the play, Dozier goes to second, but he gets 1 run batted in and not 2.
Yeah, Escobar, I don't know if he picked up Gene Glenn right away or not, but he hesitated around third and then started again, and the throw home in time to get Escobar.
Urrutia with the throw. I have no idea what happened at third base.
Urrutia coming in and throwing the ball all the way in the air. And Escobar, let's take a look at Escobar right here. You see Gene Glenn saying keep going, but he hesitated, and that little bit of hesitation allows him to get thrown out at home.
Yeah, he couldn't have been more clear about what he wanted Escobar to do. Here's Mauer. Only 2 outs in the inning, 1 of them at home plate. Mauer takes inside, ball 1.
You see Gene Glenn saying, come on, keep going. And then he turned around.
Yeah, I don't know. Gene switched arms. He started waving, or he waved Suzuki home with his right arm, but ball hit to the right side. He'll have to be happy with 5 runs. It's a good inning for the Twins as they jump out in front and bat around in the second.
Tyler Duffy has made 2 very different starts for the Twins, and I asked him about the difference, and Duffy said, well, the fact that he trusted that he has the stuff to pitch in the big leagues. He said that first start in Toronto, such an intimidating lineup, he said that let him convince him that he needed to do something different, that he wasn't himself, but that the second start, he said, that was more me. He let himself settle in, collected himself a little bit. He said tonight he's pretty excited for his third start, but he said, this is not about me. This is big picture. We need to win games. I'm pitching for my team tonight, not for myself. Dick and Bert.
Yeah, thank you, Marty. He needs to have a quick inning, hopefully, like he did in the first.
There's a base hit to center off the bat of Davis on an 0-1 pitch.
Well, he got in a little bit, but Chris Davis, very strong, just spotted off and hit it into short center field. Davis having a great year. 34 home runs. He's driven in 89 runs.
Matt Wieters didn't play at the start of the year and now is catching every other game, sometimes a designated hitter, still on the road back from Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, the Orioles carrying 3 catchers.
Strike 1.
One double play turned behind Duffy in his last start against the Indians.
Chop foul, 2 strikes. Month of August has been an interesting one for Duffy. He made his first start of the month for Rochester against Syracuse, and the Twins knew as he was pitching that he was going to get promoted to the big league, so they pulled him out after 2 innings. Up and away. Made his major league debut at the Rogers Center against Toronto, having given up all minor league season, just 1 home run, and he promptly gave up 2 big ones and 6 runs against the Blue Jays at the Rogers Center. Was sent back to Rochester. Here's a ball driven to the right field corner, and Hunter can't make the catch and then tips over off the wall. It'll be a double for Wieters with Davis going to third base. Torrey made a lunge for the ball and then fell down. And the second inning for the Orioles begins with a single and a double.
Yeah, Torrey dove for this ball right here. I think he thought he could catch it, but that ball was down and in and had a little bit of top spin on it. See, the breaking ball, I mean, almost off his kneecap. Wieters hits it the other way, and Torrey diving for it. He thought he could catch it, but the ball got by him. So a double for Wieters, his 11th double. And the Orioles fighting back.
And now Jonathan Scope. Pretty good reaction for a 40-year-old to go down in a dive for a ball, don't get it, and pop right up again. Otherwise, the Orioles would have had a run. 1-0 to Jonathan Scope. One of the chronic problems in the Yankee series was whenever the Twins would score to take the lead, the Yankees came right back. Popped up. Very short right field. Dozier out, and he gives way to Hunter, and that's as good as an infield pop-up, 1 down.
Good fastball away. Scope right off the end of the bat, popping it up to right field. So a big first out for Tyler Duffy.
And now Clevenger will bat.
Clevenger just getting recalled. He spent most of the time down in AAA for the Orioles. Getting recalled about a week ago in his 3rd stint with the Orioles this year.
Twins playing even at the corners pretty much. Mauer a step or 2 behind the bag at first. Deep up the middle in the infield. And Duffy with a breaking ball over, strike 1.
Well, Clevenger is hitting well down in AAA. 75 ball games, hitting .305, and comes into this game hitting over 400. 406. Not a lot of at-bats.
Popped up foul and out of play. Just to continue the discussion on Duffy's month of August, he had the rough start against Toronto, was sent back to the minor leagues, and when the Twins, any team, sends a player back down, they say, hey, take care of business and make us call you up when we have our next need. Duffy did that. 6 innings, only 1 hit against Buffalo. Chopped foul again. And so when the Twins decided they needed somebody to come up and start for the Indians last Saturday, Duffy was the guy, and he got his first big league win.
He needs a strikeout right here. That curveball a little flat right now. We saw him pick up 7 strikeouts against the Indians. Had a little bit of top spin type break. Now it's kind of spinning a little bit.
2 strikes. Got the curveball.
Good curveball there. A big strikeout.
2 down, and that'll bring up Hardy.
We saw the Indians have trouble with that breaking ball when Duffy got ahead in the count. You can see the big break. A big second out for Duffy.
Hardy's average down to .225 this year, still considered to be one of the best defensive shortstops in the game. Breaking ball. Hardy's front side buckled a little bit, and it's a called strike.
J.J. Hardy in his 5th season with the Orioles, 33 years old.
On the outside corner with a fastball.
Had a birthday yesterday. Turned 33. And speaking of birthdays, Tom Bernansky's birthday today. Happy 55th to Tom Bernansky.
0-2 to J.J. Hardy.
Good block by Suzuki.
Now Davis stuck at third base, and Torrey Hunter deserves a little credit for that, getting up and getting.
Well, you know what? He dove for the ball, so Davis really couldn't take off.
Right.
Because if Torrey catches that ball, Davis is out at first.
And a better stop by Suzuki as that ball was even farther off the plate. 2-2. Suzuki may have gotten that with his bare hand.
That's just Duffy Young trying to make a better pitch than he can. Relax a little bit. Just trying to overthrow this curveball. And Suzuki getting it on the first hop.
And now 2-2. And off the plate 3-2. We saw in the top half of this inning what can happen if a pitcher starts nibbling on 0-2. Gonzalez really struggled. And now Duffy.
Well, sometimes when you're 0-2 and you have a pretty good curveball, you try to make it better than it really is. See what he throws here. 3-2.
Curveball got him.
Good break. Good pitch.
Heck of a job by Tyler Duffy. Maybe his best inning of work after a single and double started the inning. He got the next 3 batters. It's still 5-0. You're watching the Twins and Orioles presented by Chrysler. A walk, and by inning's end the Twins had 5 runs. Glenn and Eduardo Escobar talking about the base running. The only thing I can guess is that Escobar was confused when Glenn changed arms to wave him home.
Yeah, but you have to look at that coach and you have to keep running. He kind of turned around and looked, if you look back at it, and that little bit of hesitation. Paul Molitor getting in on it, along with Rudy Hernandez.
Well, Gonzalez had set down the Twins on 11 pitches, 1-2-3 in the first. He got ahead of Sano 0-2, ended up walking him, and the whole inning fell apart after that. 1 strike to Sano.
Yeah, 40 pitches used by Gonzalez in the second inning.
1-1. Fouled back. It's happening this year, or has happened, and it could very easily have happened and probably would have happened last year if Sano had not had his elbow injury that required Tommy John surgery. If Byron Buxton hadn't had his terrible collision in center field, they both could have made their debuts last year. As it is, Sano jumped up here from Double-A, so too did Buxton before being sent back to Triple-A. Swing and a miss. Sano strikes out, 1 down.
Gonzalez picks up his first strikeout.
Carsoup.com trivia question: which Twins player has the most career home runs here at Camden Yards? Here is Trevor Plouffe. Up and away, ball 1. This is a very cozy ballpark. Power alley in left field, if you want to call it that. 364.
Yeah, definitely a home run hitting ballpark.
1-1 to Plouffe.
Well, since it rained, it's cooled down a little bit, but the humidity usually here in Baltimore during the summertime helps that ball fly out of here.
Up high, 2-1. Plouffe fell behind 0-2 in the second inning and then spanked a single to right. Popped up, and Weeder's back for a look, but it's out of play. Indians took a 3-1 lead to the bottom of the 9th at Yankee Stadium, and you know what happened? The Yankees got 1 run, and Cleveland won 3-2. So it can be done. Alfredo Simon pitched a 1-hit complete game. Detroit beat Texas. 2-2 to Plouffe. Fly ball, short right. Parra coming in. 2 down. It's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag NorthDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. 2 down, and now Eddie Rosario bunted for a base hit to fill the bases in the second. Miss at a high fastball.
Yeah, Gonzalez having that tough second inning where he gave up 5 runs, but you don't want to deplete your bullpen by Buck Sherwalter taking them out.
Foul back, 2 strikes.
You hope that Gonzalez can give you 2 or 3 more shutout innings, keep you in the game.
Oh, and 2 to Rosario. A high pop-up near the Baltimore dugout. And out of play. Twins fans have heard so much for years about Buxton and Sano, and the point should be made that this guy, Rosario, beat them both to the big leagues. And hasn't been sent back, hasn't been hurt. He's been in the lineup just about every day. Left field principally, sometimes right field. Had a few innings in center field the other day.
He has been very, very steady. 14 doubles, 9 triples, 7 home runs.
And a strikeout. Gonzalez comes back after an awful second inning to have a 1-2-3 third. In the ninth on Henry Urrutia's first big league home run.
Yeah, Urrutia hitting a ball the other way, came back and ended up being the game winner.
It was his biggest thrill professionally. He's had an interesting path to the big leagues. Tried once to defect from Cuba, got caught and was suspended from playing baseball in Cuba for a year. And then finally did defect, getting to Haiti, where he resides. Was with the Orioles a couple of years ago, and now finds himself in the middle of a pennant race.
Yeah, signed as a free agent with the Orioles in 2012. Was a little up in 2013, last year in the minor leagues.
2-0.
And this year spent some time down in AAA. Called up on August 15th, just 5 days ago. He was hitting .292 down in AAA in 107 games.
Chopper right side to Mauer, and he'll go to the bag. Urrutia retired, 1 away. Join us September 4th for the Lynx Night Out ticket offer. Welcomed by Fox Sports North. For just $30, fans receive a ticket to the game, craft beer sampling, and a commemorative Lynx beer stein. For details, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events. Back to the top of the order, and Manny Machado, who hit a ground ball to Escobar his first time up. A couple of home runs at Target Field for Machado. Strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, Machado the last couple of years. In October of 2013, left knee surgery. September of last year, had right knee surgery.
1-1.
Very talented young man. Made the All-Star team this year. Also made it in 2013.
Again to Escobar. 2 down. Duffy, in analyzing his first major league win, was particular and critically particular about the high number of walks. He only gave up 1 hit, but he walked 5, and he was a little hard on himself, saying, you know, hey, I was all over the place, and I got to do better than that.
Yeah, you know, in the minor leagues, we go off minor league numbers, and he averaged 1.8 walks per 9 innings down in the minor leagues. 83 starts, or excuse me, 65 starts, 83 games.
There's Parra with 2 gone in the third. And there's strike one.
Good breaking ball right there to get a strike. And in the minor leagues, he averaged over 7 strikeouts per 9 innings. Only in his 4th season as a professional. Signed by the Twins out of Rice University in 2012. He's the number 5 pick by the Twins. Born in the Houston, Texas area.
0-2. Man, live.
It's a good breaking.
We'll talk more about his breaking ball in the 4th inning. He has a 1-2-3 3rd inning and picks up a strikeout to end the inning. North is presented by Chrysler. Enjoy your summer in style with great deals at the Chrysler Summer Clearance event. Marty Gellner, Bert Blylev, and Dick Bramer here in Baltimore. If you're wondering why on earth we're only in the 4th inning, it's because we had a rain delay of 2 hours and 31 minutes. And eventually it rained itself out, I think, is what happened. What would you guess? Your best guess as to how much rain fell here in Baltimore?
Oh, heck, I have no
idea. Just take a guess. We'll find out.
I'm going to guess 3/4 of an inch.
I'm going to go with about a 1/2 inch.
Okay.
2 strikes to Hunter here in the 4th. Hunter, Suzuki, and Escobar. Up and away, 1-2. At any rate, we've got night games scheduled tomorrow night and Saturday, a day game on Sunday, and then the Twins go to Florida to take on the Rays, but they have an off day on Monday. 2-2. And the Twins, because of how poorly they played since the All-Star break, find themselves, pardon the pun here, as the hunter, not the hunted. They had the wild card lead before the last road trip and then won just 1 game in the Toronto-Cleveland swing. Took care of business at home, won 4 of 6 at home, but now lost all 3 in New York. So they've got some catching up to do.
Yeah, it's been a tough road for the Twins since the All-Star break, but you play 1 game at a time and hopefully they can get a little winning streak going.
Full count to Hunter. And Gonzalez doesn't want a repeat of his nightmarish 2nd inning when he got ahead of everybody 0-2 and just about everybody and just about lost everybody. Chopped foul.
Torrey picked up an RBI on that walk in the 2nd inning. His 61st of the year.
Call, 3rd strike, and Hunter doesn't believe it.
That's a breaking ball, and Torrey kind of froze on it. He's asking Gabe Morales Gonzalez saying, hey, that ball came back over the heart of the plate.
Well, let's see what it did.
Gonzalez striking out 3 of the 4.
Fox Tracks presented by Jeep. 1 down on the 4th.
And Gonzalez now with 3 strikeouts of the last 4 Twins batters he's faced.
Suzuki hit a breaking ball down the left field line for a 2-run single in the 5-run second inning.
Say that again. The 5-run second inning.
I don't have to. You just did.
I know.
Up the middle, and Suzuki
you
gets
had that look on your face like, say what again? And Suzuki picks up his second hit.
Suzuki aboard, and that'll bring up Escobar with an RBI double in the 5-run second inning.
There you go. Yeah, Escobar had that great at bat. Ended up hitting that double into right center.
High strike call. You hear the Twins dugout telling Gabe Morales that pitch was up. 1 strike. And it was up. You concede that was out of the strike zone? Popped up behind third. Urrutia coming in.
See, I saw it, and I saw a little bit on that top of the strike zone. Just like Torrey Hunter, just a little bit.
Okay. 2 down, and now Buxton.
But again, that's a former pitcher talking, you know.
Buxton with 2 ground balls to third baseman Machado. We mentioned Detroit picked up a win today, and right now the Tigers and Twins are tied for second place in the American League Central. Twins have been a second place team most of this year. Buxton takes a strike. And if the Twins were to win this series 3-1, that would get them back to the 500 mark. That's the emphasis here in Baltimore. Strike 2. First it was Hicks moving into the leadoff spot, and now in his absence, Buxton here hitting in the leadoff spot, pushing Dozier down to second. There's a dribbler foul. Join us later this month, August 29th and 30th, for a DQ Sensational Saturday Super America Knothole Kids Day, with the Twins taking on the Astros. The first 5,000 fans 14 and under Saturday and Sunday get a bullseye plush presented by Target. Of course, go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets. 2 strikes to Buxton. Another one to Machado. And he goes the short way to second. The Twins are done in the 4th. Still lead 5-0. what's next by NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. Tyler Duffy given an early 5-0 lead. To his credit, he's handled it awfully well. A couple of hits started the second inning, but now he's retired 6 men in a row.
Yeah, what I like, he gave up the couple back-to-back hits, a single by Davis and then the Wieters double. But only 37 pitches in the first 3 innings. That's attacking the strike zone. 25 strikes.
Well, a lot of first pitch strikes along the way. Jones, Davis, and Wieters to face him here in the 4th.
7 of 11 so far, first pitch strikes for Duffy. Half
awkward,
swing. Maybe guessing
imbalanced swing.
Maybe guessing fastball.
You were talking about you were complimenting him on his curveball, and of course you were the gold standard for curveballs.
This is a big sweeping curveball.
It has more lateral movement than yours, right? Yours early on was a 12-6, and then it, had a little more diagonal to it as you got older. Oh my! Oh, what a catch! Tyler Duffy.
Wow.
On a wicked line drive off the bat of Adam Jones, and everyone's checking to make sure he's okay.
Well, he's checking his glove, make sure it didn't go right through the webbing. I remember what we saw in New York when Brian Mitchell got hit, and Adam Jones hitting this ball right back up the middle, and somehow Duffy able to get it in his glove. You let that ball go, you're about 55 feet away. That high fastball reaction, just kind of defend yourself, and the ball in his glove. Those are always scary.
And now Davis, who lobbed a single into center field his first time up.
You almost saw Duffy talking to himself, saying, "Get the ball down."
And strike one.
9 of 13 first pitch strikes. Yeah, that'll wake you up a little bit.
There's the curve. And it's 0-2.
It's got good rotation on it. It's a big bite, but it looks like it's sharp.
And as we said in his start against the Indians, the way veteran hitters were repeatedly swinging at it, must break late. And he puts Davis away on 3 pitches.
Strikeout number 4. Good location on that curveball right there. And Davis asking if he foul tipped that ball. And Buck Showalter coming out.
Now, if Suzuki caught it, it doesn't matter, but if the ball hit the ground, it's a dead ball. Now, Buck Showalter asking Morales to check with third base umpire Chris Conroy to see whether he saw the ball hit the dirt. I don't think there's any question that Davis foul tipped it. The question is whether Suzuki fielded it before it hit the dirt.
I don't know if he foul tipped it. Take a look at that. I don't think he I don't believe he foul tipped that ball. That's a good breaking ball down. I don't believe he made contact.
Let's listen and know that it does hit the ground. You will hear that. Oh, I don't think it hit as bad at all.
No way.
And now here comes Paul Molitor, and he's not going to be too happy with the fact that they're going to give Davis, Davis, another swing here.
No, I don't believe. I mean, the ball, yes, because the curveball landed just on the other side of home plate, but I don't believe that Davis made contact with it or tipped it.
So no strikeout for Davis, as he has another strike coming here. It didn't appear. Allowing for the fact that, from the side angle, the ball's a blur, the bat's a blur, so Davis felt that he fouled it, and the ball hit the dirt. 0-2.
And he came right back with it, and this time Davis walks away.
I got to put strikeout in the box score here.
Duffy does get his 4th strikeout. It just 1 pitch later. Another good breaking ball.
But that's what I was talking about in the Cleveland series. Now, this is Davis. He's he strikes out a lot, but he's a veteran guy. He's seen a lot of right-handed breaking balls, and he swung and missed back-to-back breaking balls from Duffy. Here's Wieters.
But you saw where that ball was, too. I mean, that was a great location, both those breaking balls. Wieters got a breaking ball that broke in on him, and he lined it into that right field corner.
It's a fastball. 1-1. Foul back.
That breaking ball stayed up. Now ahead in the count. Now you're thinking breaking ball, a better breaking ball underneath that swing of a left-handed hitter. If they decide to go that way.
One and two. Wow.
Nasty.
He's going to strike out a lot of guys with that breaking ball. He got 2 veteran hitters in the 4th inning and has retired 9 men in a row. It's been a good first 4 innings for the Twins. They lead 5-0. Brian Dozier has a hit, drove in a run. He takes strike 1 here in the 5th. And again, if you're wondering why we are only in the 5th inning, it's because of a rain delay of 2 hours and 31 minutes at the game start. Popped up near the Oriole dugout, and Davis makes the catch. Near the photo bay outside the Baltimore dugout, 1 down. Mountain Dew fans of the game, Twins fans hoping that they can have that really good series here and pick up some ground on the Orioles. The Orioles themselves have some ground to make up there, trying to catch first the Angels, then the Blue Jays in the wild card standing. Right now, the Orioles a half game out of a projected playoff spot. Twins 3.5 games behind Baltimore. Bauer with a rifle shot to right field.
Yeah, Joe jumping on that first pitch and lining it into right.
And now Sano will bat. He has walked and struck out. Would imagine in this 4-game series we will see Sano at third base at least one of the games. It's exciting to see this game tonight, at least for me. There's a drive to left field. Urrutia going back at the wall, and it is gone. Sano with his 10th big league home run.
And his second against the Baltimore Orioles. This one looked like it got jammed a little bit. And still hit it out.
I saw two in New York that looked like he hit it off the end of the bat and hit him out.
So Sano with his 10th home run. And Sano in his 41st game. I don't think it got in on him. He just uppercut swing. Just put it over the fence there in left field.
Number 10 for Sano, and it's 7-0. Here's Plouffe. Ball one.
Boy, and that's what you like to see too. Twins add on. You know, you give the 5 runs in the second, but then we've seen in the past they kind of go dormant a little bit. But a big home run right there by Sano.
I think the way Roy Smalley describes it is a good way to put it. You have to change the number. If the Orioles are staring at 5, especially when the 5 are scored in the second inning, if you don't change the number, then it's easy for them to figure, all right, we get 1 here, maybe 2 there, and we're right back in it. But if you change that number, as Sano just did.
Well, that's why I said, you know, Gonzalez went back out there for the, you know, the 3rd and the 4th, and he put zeros on the board, and at least you come back in and say, you know, we score a couple, we're back in this ball game, but now it's a 7-0 lead.
2-2 to Plouffe.
As a pitcher, you know, you have a bad inning and you want to just keep them in the game, but that home run hurt.
And a breaking ball gets Plouffe for out number 2.
And strikeout number 4 in the ball game for Gonzalez. That home run that Sano hit, the 23rd home run that Gonzalez has allowed, and this is his 23rd start of the year.
Rosario with a bunt single, a run scored, and a strikeout. Ball one. And now a strike.
.92 pitches for Gonzalez, 62 strikes.
1-2. Up and away, 2-2. Back just over our heads.
There's a lot of things over our heads. You got up like you think that ball was coming at us.
I still think that you know, I can catch those things.
Mm-hmm. Good. I'm getting out of the way.
Call third strike. And Rosario thought it was low. Miguel Sano hits his 10th home run in the big league. It comes with a man aboard. The Twins now lead 7-0.
You bring your Circle Me signs. You might get circled just like that. You might find yourself in a Minnesota Lottery winner's circle, or you could win $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
Tyler Duffy now has seen the Twins score 7 runs of support for him, trying to pick up his second big league win. Schoop, Clevenger, and Hardy in the 5th inning. It was Schoop, Clevenger, and Hardy whom Duffy retired after the Orioles started the 2nd inning with a single and a double. And he left those 2 runners on and hasn't given up a base runner since. 9 in a row set down. And a ball 1, ball 2 to Schoop. Schoop hit a short fly ball to right, not deep enough to score. Davis from third base.
That's only the 2nd time that he has fallen behind 2-0 on a hitter.
Oh, short fly ball to center. Buxton gets a chance to catch it. 1 down. He's been good. All the strikeouts have come on swinging strikeouts.
Yeah, so far no walks in a ball game, 5 strikeouts. You know, he did a great job in the 2nd inning. After the Twins put 5 on the board, the Davis base hit, the Wieters double, then a fly out on a couple punch outs. Big breaking ball. So far so good.
Off the end of the bat.
And the pitch count outstanding. 52 pitches now. Here with 1 out in the 5th inning.
What would be your guess? Maybe you even know. You had 3,700 how many strikeouts?
1.
3,007 the last one. And did you know? How'd you feel about your striking out your last batter? You didn't know it was you.
If I'd known it, I would have enjoyed it more.
That was Harmon's line. What was it like hitting your last home run against the Twins? As Harmon did. He said, well, if I'd have known it was my last one, I might have really thought it something special. But at the time.
Good fastball there.
Anyway, do you happen to know, or what would you guess, how many were swinging strikeouts and how many were called third strikes?
Probably a lot swinging because of the curveball like Duffy has right there. You go underneath that swing just like that.
2 down.
Wow. It's a good tight break on that curveball. Clevenger striking out for the 2nd time and strikeout number 6 for young Tyler Duffy. See, it looks like a fastball and the bottom just drops out of it.
But that looked like a different one, didn't it? I mean, that was more 12-6.
That's more the one we saw in his last one. Remember, he struck out Gomes a couple times on that curveball. And look at the fastball, getting ahead in the count.
1 strike to Hardy. He struck out swinging to end the scoring threat in the 2nd. Strike 2. Fastball at the knee.
Well, you get the hitter starting looking for that curveball, then you forget about your fastball. It's a good one. It's not going to overpower anybody. That fastball clock here at 92. And here comes Uncle Charlie. Well, Hardy stayed off of it.
1-2.
And that's a good pitch right there. 0-2. Make that hitter, go after it. And Hardy held up.
That one foul. I mean, a swinging strikeout has got to feel better than a called third strike, right? A swinging strikeout must feel better than a called third strike.
Oh yeah, well, bases loaded, 2 outs. You want that called third strike. You want the umpire to help you out once in a while. But no, the swinging strikeout is fun to watch, and Hardy stayed off of that one. Well, let's take a look at Clevenger's last strikeout. Now, that one started outer half, and then it kind of broke straight down, and then we've seen the sweeping breaking ball go underneath of a left-handed hitter. The lefties see it right there, and then the ball just disappears. That's a great curveball to a lefty.
2-2 to Hardy. Fastball hit to center, and Buxton going back, and he's there to make the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. 12 in a row set down by Duffy. You're watching the Twins and the Orioles, presented by Chrysler. front. Chrysler rode ahead. There's a lot of road trip left here, and the Twins hoping to pick up a win here today. 3 more in Baltimore, then 3 in Tampa after a day off Monday, and then a week-long homestand, and then the Twins start another week-and-a-half long road trip.
First time that they see the Houston Astros this season, and they'll see them within a week apart.
And one thing that'll be nice to see in that series, the top 2 draft picks from a couple of years ago, Buxton now up with the Twins, and Carlos Correa, who was the #1 draft pick, might already be the best shortstop in the league. Here's Garcia finally coming in out of the Baltimore pen.
Yeah, Garcia, a Rule 5 pickup out of the Boston Red Sox organization. Spent some time on a disabled list, making his 12th relief appearance.
1-1.
Garcia fastball, slider, and a changeup.
Swing and a miss.
There's that slider. It's kind of like a cutter.
Nobody wants it more than Torrey, but the Twins are anxious for Torrey to start making solid contact again.
Yeah, opponent's hitting just 180 off of Garcia. On a disabled list, had some right shoulder tendonitis. Young man had a Tommy John surgery back in 2013, just 22 years old.
Soft liner caught by the second baseman Scope, 1 away. Earlier in the homestand, the Orioles hosted the Oakland A's for 4 games. They won all 4 games. One of them was a big blowout, 18-2. And in that game, first baseman Ike Davis came in to pitch. And the Orioles had juggled their lineup around, had used their DH as a first baseman, so they lost the DH. And the end result was a pitcher, Garcia, went up and hit against a position player, Ike Davis. That's not something you see very often.
I think it's the second time that Ike Davis has come into a ball game for the White Sox.
A's.
I mean, for the A's.
Right. Here's the ball hit to center. Suzuki making a bid for a 3rd hit, but Jones is there, 2 down. 2 away in the 6th, and that'll bring up Escobar. Escobar with an RBI double in the 2nd. He was thrown out at the plate, hesitating when he got to 3rd base on Suzuki's hit, and then a fly ball to left in the 4th. Foul to the screen. Angels and White Sox tied at 1 in the 4th inning, a game with the significance for the Twins and the Orioles and anybody else that fashions themselves a wild card contender. 1-1. Right now the Angels are where the Twins were, in the wild card driver's seat. And they were there just a week and a half ago, 2.5 weeks ago.
There's the wild card standings.
Well, the Twins have the same record as Detroit, 59-61. And a strike, 2-2.
Garcia, I mentioned a Rule 5 pickup by the Orioles last year. Single A baseball. Finds himself in the big leagues.
Tap to 3rd, easy play for Machado. And it's a 1-2-3-6 for Garcia. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. With $1.69 iced coffees and 69-cent vanilla cones, you can get Totes treats excited all summer long at McDonald's. 7-0. Twins cruising so far as we go to the bottom of the sixth. Henry Urrutia leading things off against Tyler Duffy. And Urrutia swings through, strike one. We've seen Duffy, we talk about, okay, fastball and curveball, but we've seen him change speeds and break on the curveball. The ball hit hard to right field, and it's a leadoff single for Urrutia. We've also seen him change speeds on the fastball. He's done a nice job keeping hitters off balance.
Yeah, he left that fastball right up right there. Third hit off of Duffy. And the first since the second inning. So he had retired 12 Orioles in a row before that base hit.
Machado's hit 2 ground balls to Escobar so far tonight. Breaking ball down and away, 1-0. 64 pitches. He's gotten 15 outs. Handed by Suzuki, and it's 2-0. Dire straits with the bullpen through the Cleveland series, or really showed up maybe more in the Yankee series than in the Cleveland series. Chopper left side, Plouffe to Dozier, quickly to first, double play.
Very nicely turned. Yeah, Trevor Plouffe coming in and getting it before that little short hop, and then kind of flipping it over to Dozier, who was straddling the bag, and then the quick throw to get Machado. So the double play, second double play. So Plouffe charged that ball.
Dozier had to hang in there a little bit at second base, it looked like. He stepped out of the way.
Watch a turn right there. Dozier stepping toward the infield side and flipping it over to Mauer.
Base is empty, 2 down for Parra. Swinging a foul, 1 strike.
Yeah, Duffy, as I mentioned, second double play turn behind him. He had a double play turn behind him in his last game against the Indians when he won his first major league game.
One strike to Parra. Weak ground ball. Count the hops, 4 of them to Dozier. And a leadoff single does no damage. In fact, Duffy faces just 3 men again in the 6th.
you're ranked, that you still got to come out and perform. You can't take it for granted. You got to come out and play hard every day and compete. It don't matter if you ain't helping your team, trying to help them win, and that's all I'm here trying to do.
Byron Buxton leads off the top of the 7th inning for the Twins. He said today that while he was in AAA, he found a routine that worked for him, and he stuck with it. And the better the routine was, he said it felt like the better he played. He would come to the ballpark early and do a little running, then take early ball BP. And then he said he would see which way the ball was flying that day, how the wind was, little detailed stuff to help him get prepared. And he said once you get in the routine, you want to stick with it every day, because that is what will prepare you to be ready for a game every night.
Buxton 0 for 3 tonight. Thank you, Marty. Yep. Buxton with 3 ground balls to Machado. And now 2-0.
Going to take a while, I think, for this young man to relax a little bit. You know, probably trying to do a little bit too much.
Best way to relax, though, is to start showing up at the ballpark and seeing your name in the lineup every day, whether you win 0 for 4 or 2 for 4. And I think that's where he's at right now. For the next 2 weeks, he's going to be the center fielder. And a strike, 3-1.
Well, we have seen from Garcia so far, fastball, little cutter. Weeder sitting down the heart of the plate.
3-2.
Pretty good pitch away. 1, 2, 3, 6th inning for Jason Garcia.
Struck him out. Came back from 3-0 to get him.
And that breaking ball strikes out Buxton.
As promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. You can tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #NorthDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Stephanie, thank you very much.
1 down in the 7th. Here's Dozier. 1 for 3, an RBI single in the 5-run 2nd inning.
You know, I don't think Tom Bernansky could ask for a better birthday present than he's getting right here today. Offense has scored 7 runs.
Dozier with an opposite field hit. He hit it right off the end of the bat, but the Twins like to see some hits for Dozier going in that direction too.
Yeah, his 2nd hit.
55 years old.
Yeah, still a baby.
Looking at Dozier saying,
look, you away, you went with it.
See how easy that is? A 1-out single for Dozier, and now Mauer. Line drive single and a run scored his last time up. Are you that way? You know, what I found out today was Tom Bernansky's 55th birthday. That made me feel older. Now I'm, you know, I feel older more when I find out about other people's
that are
age.
Younger than you.
Thank you for mentioning that. But you know, you feel about your age in relation to other people. Does that make any sense?
What makes me feel older is I have an index card on every player, and I start putting
juniors,
kids down that were born in 1992. My last year of playing.
Yeah.
You know, Jason Garcia, born November 21st, 1992, in the Bronx, New York.
2-0 to Mauer. Sano will hit next.
And when you have a granddaughter that starts driving, then you start feeling old. Yes, I do.
Do you really?
Yes, Stephanie, 16 years old. Thank goodness she's driving out in California.
I was going to say, have you ridden with her yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And I'll wait till she turns 30.
Mauer slaps it foul. 2-2. 2.5-hour rain delay. This game getting on to 2 hours in length. Up high, and it's 3-2.
Well, one thing that Duffy has been able to do is get some quick outs and get his team back on the bench so they can swing the bat. And they've done a good job here tonight.
And Mauer takes a walk. There'll be 2 men aboard for Sano.
Well, first walk for Garcia, third walk the Twins have taken in the ball game.
Sano with a 2-run home run in the 5th. He walked to start the 5-run second inning.
You know, it's nice to see the 10 home runs, but 8 of the 10 there's been a runner on. He has 1 3-run home run, only 1 solo home run. So it seems like all the home runs he's hitting have men on base.
Inside again. Sano coming into the game with 40 games played. And a quick trip to the mound by Wieters. So roughly a quarter of a full season. And you quadruple Sano's numbers and you're looking at a pretty impressive full season. Now Rosario and Sano and very likely now Buxton will use up their rookie status in this 2015 season. Pulled foul. The threshold for rookie status is 130 plate appearances. And Sano is already there. Rosario, of course, shot past it long about Memorial Day. And Buxton, now that he's back up in the big leagues, will probably use up his rookie qualifying at bats as well. 3-1 to Sano. Plouffe on deck. Scalded down the line, foul.
That fastball about belt high inside, and Sano opened up and lined it foul.
Three and 2 to Miguel Sano. And he cuts through an 87-mile-per-hour offer and 2 down.
Yeah, good location at breaking ball, and Garcia picks up his second strikeout. It's almost the same pitch he struck Buxton on a 3-2 breaking ball.
Here is Plouffe. Strike on the outside corner. Dribbler up the line, foul. Twins swept the Orioles in Minnesota. 9 outs away from winning the opener here in Baltimore. Just up a little bit, 1-2.
Not by much. Fastball. Pretty good pitch.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. Nearly to the backstop, 2-2.
Watch out.
And now 3-2. Plouffe got out of the way.
That ball just slipping out of the hand of Garcia, and Plouffe getting out of the way.
And Rosario hoping for a chance. Full count with 2 down. Down the line, Plouffe has delivered a 2-out hit. It gets by Urrutia. It'll score 2 runs. Urrutia falls down on the warning track, and it's a 2-run double for Trevor Plouffe.
Yeah, that breaking ball left up right there, and Trevor Plouffe taking advantage of it. A 2-run double for Trevor Plouffe. His second hit of the ball game, now with 68 runs batted in on the season. We saw the strikeout of Buxton and Sano on a good breaking ball away. That left up, and Trevor Plouffe lining it against the fence. Dozier scoring, Mauer scoring, and the Twins take a 9-0 lead.
And the Twins change the number again here in the 7th, and now Rosario will bat.
For Trevor Plouffe, his 28th double of the year.
And now 68 runs batted in on the year. Twins 5 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Rosario takes low, ball 1. And Rosario slaps a hit to left. Plouffe will be held at third. Rosario's second hit of the ball game. And Orioles hoping to milk at least one more out of Garcia here.
Well, he bunted in the first inning, a perfect bunt down the first base or third base line here, taking that 2-seam fastball the other way. That's why, you look at this young man right here, Rosario. We've seen him pull that ball on the inside part of the plate. That's good hitting right there. Not trying to pull it, just taking it the other way.
And now Hunter 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. His walk actually drove in a run. Came with the bases loaded, and Hunter takes up and away, ball 1. Missing inside, 2-0. Hunter called out on strikes in the 4th inning. And just had an exchange. I assume it was friendly, yet firm, with Gabe Morales. Chopper left side, backhanded by Hardy.
Whoa.
And Scope did a nice job keeping his foot on the bag. The inning ends. The Twins add 2 more. It's 9-0.
it all started off with a base on balls. Trevor Cruz a base hit, then a perfect bunt by Rosario. A walk to Torrey Hunter that scored a run. Suzuki with a big 2-run single. Escobar with a double that scored a run. And then an RBI single by Brian Dozier made it a 5-0 lead in the second inning. Sano with his 10th home run, a 2-run home run. And Tyler Duffey has been outstanding here tonight. 68 pitches in 6 shutout innings.
In 5 of the 6 innings, he's faced just 3 batters. 4 of them 1-2-3 innings, and he delivers strike 1 to Jones. Jones with a bouncer to short for the 3rd out of the 1st inning, and then leading off the 4th, they had a rocket up the middle, and Duffey caught it for the 1st out.
A double hit right there on that foul ball, and Duffey again ahead in the count. 14 of 21 first pitch strikes for Tyler Duffey. 6 strikeouts, no walks. .70 pitches, 49 strikes.
And a base hit up the middle.
And Jones reaching out on that curveball and lining it up the middle. His first hit, the 4th hit for the Orioles.
Twins take on the White Sox September 1st through the 3rd at Target Field. Tuesday features the U.S. Bank Value Pack. You can purchase a U.S. Bank Home Run Porch View ticket and receive a free Schweigert hot dog and Pepsi. Wednesday is Student Day presented by Rasmussen College. Standing room tickets just $5 for students, and they include a free ride on Metro Transit. All 833 Twins. Visit twinsbaseball.com to get your tickets. And now here's Chris Davis. And there is ball 1. Davis with a single leading off the 2nd. And then Duffey throwing back-to-back curves. Orioles got strike 3 erased, saying that Davis fouled it into the dirt, and then Duffey came right back with another one and struck him out swinging.
Yeah, he did not have a good swing at that curveball.
Inside, 2-0.
It's only the 3rd time he has fallen behind 2-0 to a Oriole hitter here tonight.
Escobar and Plouffe will switch, with now Escobar on the right side of the infield. Two-0. Foul back, 2-1. Line foul. Two and two from Duffey to Davis. Field a base hit. A pair of singles start the 7th inning.
Yeah, that curveball stayed up a little bit. Second time in the ball game the Orioles have been able to get 2 hits right off the get-go. Duffey able to work out of that jam in the 2nd inning. See if he can do it here in the 7th.
Hunter trying to get a force play at 2nd, and Jones just barely got there. He's looking out in Torrey's direction. And now Wieters with runners at 1st and 2nd and nobody out. Double play grounder. Dozier to Escobar. 2 down, and on the play Jones goes to 3rd.
And the 2nd double play turned behind Duffey. So it doesn't waste any time getting that sinking fastball down. And Wieters hitting it to Dozier. And a nice little 4-6-3 double play.
Scope with a couple of outfield flies. Check swing in the dirt. Ball one. He's trying to pick up win at number 60. And a strike. Almost seems to go against everything that's holy and sacred to cheer for the White Sox, given the fact that they're a divisional opponent, but they're leading the Angels right now, and Twins need to start winning ball games. They need the teams ahead of them to start losing. Chopper, Plouffe will have a tough try, barehanding it, firing it, got him by 2 steps.
Nice play. Nice play by Trevor Plouffe.
7 shutout innings for Tyler Duffy. We'll get you updated on that as we move along here. But the Twins have had a good night here after a 2-hour and 31-minute rain delay. They have a 9-0 lead. Kurt Suzuki will lead things off against T.J. McFarland.
Yeah, McFarland coming into the ballgame, making his 17th relief appearance. 5 different stints this season with the Orioles, between the Orioles and AAA. McFarland in his 3rd season with the Orioles.
Suzuki takes a strike. Kurt with 2 singles and a line out. Trying to get the score sheet filled in here with the 4 substitutions and where they will bat for the Orioles. The count, 2 strikes to Suzuki. Escobar will follow, and there's another ball. It's hit almost exactly where Suzuki hit his first base hit, driving in a couple of runs in the second.
Yeah, good night at the plate for Kurt Suzuki. 3 hits. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Escobar with an RBI double his first time up, since then a fly to left and a bouncer to third. Escobar now hitting right-handed against the lefty. At the knees, a strike.
Escobar is a right-handed hitter, hitting .221. More of his at-bats coming from the left side. There are the changes defensively.
Orioles with 12 pitchers, meaning 4 bench players, and they all get thrown into the game here in the 8th inning. One and one. And now 1 and 2. There's one man sitting in the upper deck here at Camden Yards, and the ball was hit right to him. What are the chances of that?
That's why he stayed up there.
But of all the seats available for him to sit in, and the ball was hit right to him.
Unbelievable.
Up the line, that'll stay in the grass,
boy,
and it'll be a base hit for Escobar. First and second, nobody out. And that'll bring up Buxton.
Escobar getting his second hit.
13 hits for the Twins. Buxton doesn't have one yet, and he'll come up with 2 men aboard. He also does not have a major league run batted in. Had a chance to drive in a run or 2 in the second and didn't get it done. So we'll see if he can get that done here. Washington Nationals lost to the Rockies in Denver 3-2. They dropped back to 500, 60 and 60.
Boy, who would have thought at the beginning of the season they were the favorite to win the World Series with that pitching staff that they came out of spring training with?
A lesson for everybody who follows baseball and follows it year round, to not get too amped up or discouraged, either case, in January. Because the White Sox won January, and they've been 4th or 5th pretty much all year long in the American League Central. And the Nationals in the National League probably won January, and they're having a hard time staying above 500. And Buxton slaps a single to right. Suzuki will be held at third. A hit, no run batted in, but Buxton now joins the hit parade.
Good piece of hitting right there. A pitch away, didn't try to pull it, just took it into right field.
So they're loaded up for Dozier.
Watch a pitch away right here by McFarland. Buxton just going with it. Off the end of the bat, but hit into right field.
White Sox have opened up a 6-1 lead over the Angels. Here's Dozier in a 9-0 game. Dozier drove in one of the runs, scored another one. And there's ball 1. So far, Brian's done a better job in the power department, following a good first half with a good second half. Last year there was a big drop off and a strike. Paul Molitor talked about that the other day. He said that Brian worked hard conditioning wise in the off season to try to have more balance to his season, first half, second half, trying to build more stamina. Strength, of course.
Well, he's played in almost every ball game.
Popped up to right field. And leading 9-0. You wouldn't expect Suzuki to go here, but he will force a throw. 1 down. And that'll bring up Mauer. And Mauer is going to be pinch hit for. It'll be Shane Robinson. hitting in Mauer's spot. Mauer on the day, 2 runs scored, 1 for 3.
Shane Robinson as a pinch hitter, 0 for 3, an area that the Twins have not done a very good job of this year. 4 hits and 40 at-bats. The pinch hitters have been.
With just 2 runs batted in, they came on 1 swing back in April off the bat of Chris Herman. You know, the Twins have some concerns as they eventually look forward to 2016. Shortstop situation is a concern. Catching situation is a concern. But the bench really needs to be fortified. And that's up the middle. Hardy with a great stop, and he'll keep it from being a 2-run single. It's a 1-run single for Robinson. A rare pinch hit and run batted in.
Yeah, taking it right back up the middle. And Hardy, that's not Hardy right there. I believe that's
Flaherty.
Flaherty.
Yep.
Flaherty, good effort right there by Flaherty. And then tried to get that ball over to Scope at second. But Buxton beat the throw.
Here's Sano. 2 strikeouts, 2 runs scored, a walk, a 2-run home run, and he comes up with the bases loaded. Looking ahead, well, starting right now, the Twins have some right-handed batters that the Twins hope will punish left-handed pitching. Swing and a miss. Buxton right-handed, Dozier, Sano, Plouffe, and Hicks, of course, a switch hitter. But so far, none of the right-handed hitters has really punished left-handed pitching. Bouncer left side, and the ball dropped, and everyone's safe. And now here comes Buxton home. He'll score the 2nd run on the play. And Sano should get credit for a run batted in, maybe even a base hit, with 2 runs scoring.
Well, I think a good throw right there gets the runner Robertson at second base, but Flaherty came in, and the ball getting away from Scope.
We're going to close play at second. Yeah, I'm not so sure that Robinson didn't beat the throw anyway. But there should be an error allowing Buxton to score on the play. Sano does get an infield hit and a run batted in. And an error charged to Scope, allowing Buxton to score.
So Sano picks up his 2nd hit, driving in his 3rd run of the ballgame.
Here's Plouffe with 2 men aboard, still only 1 out. In the inning, 5 singles. And a strike. 16 hits. Unlike the game in New York the other night. Twins leading comfortably. The Twins heavily out-hit the Yankees but lost the ball game. Down low. One and one. Two and one. Gene Glenn lets it go. 2-2. And now he retrieves it for a fan. Dozen runs on the board for the Twins. Plouffe drove in 2 with a double his last time up. And now 3-2. Miguel Gonzalez had a painfully short start. Twins got him for 7 runs over 5 innings. Now the Oriole bullpen has struggled. Inside. And a walk fills the bases. And Rosario will have a chance here to drive in some runs.
Yeah, 1 out here in the 8th inning. Twins have already put 3 on the board.
Rosario with a single and a run scored in the 2nd. It was a bunt single. A couple of strikeouts, and he added a full swing single in the 7th. Ball 1.
McFarland, 26 years old, originally signed by the Indians back in 2007. Here's a Rule 5 draft picked up by the Orioles from the Indians back in 2012.
Up the middle, and it'll be a base hit, and it'll score 2 runs. Rosario with 3 hits.
And picking up a couple RBIs, now with 30 on the season.
And the romping continues.
Right back up the middle, fastball down and away. In his last at bat, we saw him take that 2-seamer the other way to left field. Here, not a lot of movement on that fastball, but hit right back up the middle. Robinson and Snow score.
Second bat around inning, it'll be Chris Herman hitting in Hunter's place. He batted around when they scored 5 times in the 2nd. Herman drives it to the left field corner and foul. And they've added 5 more runs so far here in the 8th. Twins 10 for 15 with runners in scoring position tonight. Torrey Hunter had gone 0 for 3 before leaving the ballgame. Torrey's slump extending now to 1 for 29. Busted bat and a bouncer up the line right to the bag. Joseph gets the 2nd out. And that'll bring up Suzuki, who started this inning with a single to left. Suzuki 2 runs, 2 hits, 3 hits.
3 hits.
2 runs batted in.
And he scored a couple times.
Having a hard time keeping track of all of this here.
It was happening very quickly here in the 8th inning.
And a strike on the outside corner. Bad inning for McFarland. He's got 5 earnings up there with 2/3 of an inning. Sliced foul. 2 strikes. And another one fouled. Twins entered the night minus 30 in one of the most asterisk, at least I think it should be, statistical areas. Run differential. You get a game like this, and things can get out of hand, and sometimes it's just a matter of how many games like this a team has, one way or the other. But the Twins were a minus 30 in run differential, and they've almost cut that in half here tonight. Suzuki strikes out. That ends the inning. 10 men back, 5 of them score, and you're watching the Twins and Orioles presented by Chrysler. There is this, and I was reminded of this on Twitter between the innings. Yesterday in New York, I mentioned to you that if whether you would go to Tyler Duffy and say, hey, if you pitch a complete game shutout, I'll shave my head, as you did years ago in New
Santana,
York. Right. Robinson in right, Nunez at short, Escobar at second, and a ball dribbled. And Blue bare hands it, fires, safe at first with Herman now at first base. And Clevenger opens the 8th inning with a base hit.
Yeah, 5th hit off of Tyler Duffy. And if I remember that conversation right, I wanted to include you on there, but
I know. I thought about
rejected.
I thought about it, and I thought that's kind of your deal. You know, you did it years ago. You got a lot of national publicity out of it. It was a wonderful thing.
I didn't do it for that.
I know that.
I
know
wanted the
that.
Twins to win.
I know that, and they did, and Johan enjoyed it and all that. And so I wonder whether you had in fact gone to Duffy and the ball hit the right center field.
See, now you're going to talk about it.
First and second. He's going to get a double play grounder here in the 8th
we
inning.
hope so. You know, he has sat a lot in that dugout, but you can see the determination he had right there by flipping that ball, and hopefully he can get another ground ball double play. So Flaherty with a base hit.
And a base hit to left, and the 8th inning starts with 3 singles.
The kid was doing great until you mentioned
that. And now Reimold pulled bad.
Yeah, 4 pitches into this inning. He's got double play. He's got bases loaded.
Went into the inning with just 5 hits allowed. I will point out, however, that the 7th inning started with back-to-back singles as well. Twins have not had a complete game victory from a starter. 2 years ago, Andrew Albers did it.
Yeah, Ricky Nolasco last year had a complete game, but he lost 3-0 to the Orioles, actually.
Strike one.
Albers had a 2-hitter, and that coming on August 12th in 2013 against the Cleveland Indians in Minnesota. He won 3-0.
One strike. Oh, hit him in foul territory. It's a strike and nothing more. That's easy for me to say. Clevenger got smoked. Wow.
He is in foul territory, so it is a foul ball. Now, if he's in fair territory, he's called out. But
heck with that. If he's in fair territory, he doesn't get hit by the ball.
Yeah, that got a shin or an ankle.
2 strikes. We'll see if Duffy can get an out here on a breaking ball.
He needs a strikeout right here.
And Reimold checks his swing. 1-2. A.J. Ocker's warming up in the Twins bullpen. Duffy taking a shutout here into the 8th inning. Pitch count it's still possible for him to get not only through the 8th but through the 9th. But he needs to start getting some outs. There's a strikeout, 1 down.
And strikeout number 7 in a ball game.
All swinging.
First strikeout since the 5th inning. So the big breaking ball again gets Reimold in his first at bat.
Well, he gets a ground ball here and gets another double play grounder. Parra, the batter, he's hit 2 ground balls and struck out. Swing and a foul.
Breaking ball that Parra swings through.
One strike to Parra. And now 2 strikes.
2 straight breaking balls. Parra fouled that one off.
A breaking ball that's gotten the strikeouts has been equally effective against lefties. Struck out Davis with it in the 4th.
He went underneath the swing of Parra in the 3rd inning, struck him out.
There it is, 2 down.
So 2 straight strikeouts, and Duffy with 8 strikeouts.
Sorry, I thought that was strike 3.
Okay, must have fouled it off. Shades of what Davis did in the 4th inning.
Up the middle, a base hit. 4th hit of the inning. And 1 run will score, and there goes Duffy's shutout.
Well, Duffy, who falls off toward first base, that ball hit right over the pitcher's mound into center field. Parra picking up his first hit, driving in his 7th run as an Oriole. See Duffy kind of reached down for it, a little upset. He wasn't able to knock that down.
Manager working the gum over pretty well here, wondering how far he should go with Duffy. Jimmy Paredes. And a half swing should be a strike. Yep. One strike to Paredes. Going after him with fastballs, 2 strikes.
Already he's in his second season with the Orioles. Played for the Astros and the Royals prior to being here in Baltimore.
And a strikeout, swing and a miss. Ball gets away, but first base occupied, 2 down.
And there's strikeout number 8.
You can follow live Twins baseball every day with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Twins all season with MLB.TV Game of the Day, in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Browse the app's new features, including StatCast tracking videos and bilingual access for Spanish-speaking fans. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. And now Joseph. Base hit, left field, 5th hit of the inning. And it's 14-2.
And Joseph in his first at-bat picks up an RBI. And that breaking ball left up, and Paul Molitor coming out. He'll be making a pitching change. But what a great effort by Tyler Duffy looking for his second major league win.
What did they ever need that? Orioles end up with 10 hits, but half of them here in the 8th inning, 9 singles. And the Twins get a much needed shot in the arm from the rookie. Sports North is presented by the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
You know, Tyler Duffy had only one batter that he threw 3 balls to. 1 3-ball count. That's how well he pitched. And there was a full count that against J.J. Hardy in the 2nd inning. 96 pitches. And A.J. Ochter coming in. Hopefully get this final out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Making his 6th relief appearance.
And Ochter with a suddenly important at bat, although Twins leading comfortably, but as good as Duffy was, if Wieters gets a hit here and clears the bases or something like that, the numbers aren't going to look very good. 1 strike to Wieters. And now a ball.
Ochter's been good in his last 3 outings. Covering 4 2/3 innings, only 1 hit allowed with 4 strikeouts, no walks.
Two and 1. Suzuki keeps it near home plate.
A.J. Ochter, Adam Joseph Ochter, 26 years old. You just don't know what you're going to get, you know, when you have that draft. Ochter was the 46th round pick by the Twins in 2010.
Hooked foul.
You know, sometimes you have your 1, 2, 3 draft picks and they just don't pan out, and you sign a guy like Ochter out of Michigan State. A little extra drive, determination, get to the big leagues. A September call-up last year. Pitched well out of the bullpen. First 2 outings, not very good in Cleveland. But I said the last 3 outings been outstanding.
2-2. And Wieters, the defensive hat, keeps the at bat alive. Scoring change already. They've given Miguel Sano a fielder's choice, not a base hit, on his at bat in the 8th inning. So take a hit away, but he does get the RBI. Pulled foul. Two and two. Octor trying to leave the bases full. He's given up 5 singles here in the 8th inning so far. Just 2 runs, and Octor strikes out Wieters. And that finishes the log on Tyler Duffy, who really did a great job for the Twins here tonight. You are at home as well. 14-2. You can visit Fox Sports North at the Minnesota State Fair August 27th through Labor Day. You can get your photo taken in the free photo booth, plus receive a commemorative frame for the photo. And for more details, visit foxsportsnorth.com and click on upcoming events. Escobar will lead things off for the Twins in the 9th.
Escobar with a couple hits, an RBI double in that 5-run second inning, and then last inning, kind of a swinging bunt infield base hit, couple hits.
Strike one from McFarland.
And T.J. McFarland out there for his second inning of work.
One and one. Two and one. Tomorrow, Tommy Malone and Wei-Yin Chen. Chen's been the best Orioles starter this year. And the Twins will face Chris Tillman, Kevin Gausman.
A couple crafty lefties tomorrow.
Yes. Foul back.
Malone will be making his second start since coming off the disabled list with that elbow strain. Pitched 5 good innings in his last start.
Off the plate and a foul ball. It's been talked about. Twins don't have a #1 starter. haven't had one. Probably going back to the Johan Santana days, right? I mean, Carl Pavano did a nice job fronting the rotation for a couple of years, but a number one David Price type of guy, Twins haven't had that. Here's a ball blasted to left field. And Eduardo Escobar has a home run here in the 9th inning.
A home run number 5 on the year for Escobar. Second home run in the ball game for the Twins. Escobar picking up his 3rd hit. And his 3rd home run as a right-handed hitter. A little cutter breaking ball right into the swing of Escobar. And he hits it into the empty seats here in left field.
And now Buxton, who singled to right, scored a run in the 8th inning. 1 strike. You'd be hard pressed to say that the Orioles last year had a number 1 starter and they won 96 ball games. You know, it's nice having those guys, but you can probably count them on one hand how many of them there are in baseball, both leagues. A liner and a little hang time there for Scope. 2 down. That'll bring up Eduardo Nunez. Our trivia question: which Twins player has the most career home runs at Camden Yards? I'll go Kirby Puckett.
I'll go Justin Morneau.
Torrey Hunter with 8.
Okay.
Kirby hit one here in the All-Star game in 1993. There's one chopped off the plate. That'll be a tough play. And Nunez will get an infield hit.
Yeah, so Nunez pinch hitting for Dozier. Picks up a hit. Nunez was at second already.
That's short, and Escobar was at second. Yep.
I missed that.
And now Shane Robinson. Nunez did his Tony Batista ceremonial run all the way almost to the flagpole or to the foul pole. Trying to beat out that hit. It was at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Batista kept right on running.
Yeah. Twins had wished he just kept running.
Here's Robinson. 4, 6, 3, and the Twins are done in the 9th inning. And the Orioles will hit with the Twins up by 13. when the Twins have 18 hits and 15 runs. The story of this game was starting pitcher Tyler Duffey, who took a shutout into the 8th inning. And now we're in the 9th with the Twins up 15-2.
Yeah, A.J. Octor trying to finish it off here.
Popped up, it'll reach the seats. 0-2.
Octor getting called up on August 6th from AAA Rochester, making his 6th relief appearance. Second on this road trip.
Fly ball center field. Buxton back a few steps. 1 down. Clevenger time now for What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. And Tommy Malone, who told me today his elbow, forearm area felt just fine after his first start off the disabled list. Went 5 innings against the Indians. He'll take on Wei-Yin Chen. One down, and now Clevenger. Roller right side. Herman gets in front of it. Feeds Octor, 2 down. Herman getting a chance to play a few innings at first base. Something he did in spring training, but not since.
Yeah, he's been all over the place in spring training. That helped them make the ball club.
Now Flaherty. And it's through Suzuki to the backstop.
Yeah, Flaherty with a base hit in his only at-bat. That came last inning. Took over at short for J.J. Hardy.
Inside 2-0.
Flaherty in his 4th season with the Orioles.
(3-0). Rudia on deck.
What's impressive about Duffey, he didn't walk anybody. He had 8 strikeouts.
As you said, just 1 3-ball count. And a 4-pitch walk.
That's the first walk of the ball game against the Orioles.
And Urrutia will hit a couple of singles for the left fielder.
Left fielder, number 51, Henry.
5 in a row out of the strike zone after the second out in the 9th. Two and 0. Locker did a nice job getting the last out of the 8th inning, leaving the bases full. The last thing he wants to do is prolong matters here. Foul back, 2-1. As desperate as the Twins bullpen situation was in New York, it's amazing how one game can go a long way toward righting the ship. Twins are going to be able to get through this game using just 2 pitchers. Swing and a miss.
Well, they did that yesterday, you know, with Santana, and really Trevor May only had to face 1 batter.
Right.
So, yeah, it does give a little breather to that bullpen that definitely has been overused as of late.
Glenn Perkins has rejoined the team, but he's in all likelihood not going to pitch in this series at all. 2-2. 3-2.
Just missing with that fastball.
Reimold on deck.
There's the 2 Minnesota natives.
Perkins had a cortisone shot in the neck area. And back-to-back walks with 2 gone. And Ocker's going to be given another opportunity here to wrap up the ball game, the inning. And need for a trip from the pitching coach or the catcher. He knows he needs to throw it over the plate.
Yeah, Reimold in his second at bat. He struck out against Duffy last inning. That was bases loaded, nobody out, and Duffy picked up a big strikeout.
There's a strike.
Reimold in his second stint with the Orioles, up with them for 5 years from 2009 to 13, and went to the Blue Jays last year with the Blue Jays and Diamondbacks.
Off the end of the bat, a spinner all the way to the backstop, 2 strikes.
Started the season in AAA, getting called up on June 9th.
Oh, 0-2. Hochter to Reimold. Popped up, should end it. Good ball game for the Twins. They ended a 3-game losing streak and thumped the Orioles. They're now 4-0 against Baltimore this year.
I mean, this is a blueprint game for the Twins on Tom Bernanski's 55th birthday. A lot of offense and then great starting pitching.
Miguel Sano with his 10th big league home run, and Tom Hanneman. It took a while to get this game started and finished, but if you're a Twins fan, it was worth the wait.